Before the injuries, before the criticism, before people questioned his legacy, there was a boy who made millions believe that football could still feel like magic. Every touch, every dribble, every smile. The world wasn't just watching a footballer, it was witnessing an artist. His name, Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. For many Brazilians, he was more than the next superstar. He was the hope of an entire nation, a nation still searching for the next player who could carry the beautiful game into a new generation. But greatness always comes with a price. This is the story of Neymar. Neymar was born on February 5th, 1992, in Mogi das Cruzes, a city in the state of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Football wasn't just a game in his family, it was a way of life. His father, Neymar Santos Sr., had also dreamed of becoming a professional footballer, but life had other plans. When his son's talent became impossible to ignore, he made a decision. His own dream would now become his son's future. From an early age, Neymar played with fearless confidence. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the strongest, but whenever the ball touched his feet, something special happened. Defenders couldn't predict him, coaches couldn't teach what he already had, and fans couldn't take their eyes off him. It didn't take long before Brazil realized a very special talent had arrived. At just 11 years old, Neymar joined the youth academy of Santos FC, the same club that once gave the world Pelé. Expectations were already high, but Neymar was about to raise them even higher. Coaches quickly realized they weren't training an ordinary youngster. Every session, every match, every touch of the ball seemed to create excitement. His speed, his creativity, and his fearless dribbling made him impossible to ignore. By the age of 17, Neymar made his professional debut. It didn't take long before Brazil had a new football sensation. Stadiums filled to watch him. Fans wore his number. Children copied his skills in streets, schools, and neighborhood pitches across the country. Every week, he delivered moments that looked almost impossible. Defenders chased shadows. Goalkeepers stood helpless, and the football world started asking the same question. Was this the next Pelé? European giants came calling. Real Madrid, Chelsea, Manchester City, almost every top club wanted his signature. But Neymar stayed. He wanted one more dream, to bring glory back to Santos. In 2011, that dream became reality. Santos lifted the Copa Libertadores for the first time since the legendary days of Pelé. Neymar wasn't just the star, he had become Brazil's brightest hope. And now, the biggest stage in world football was waiting. In 2013, the wait was finally over. Neymar signed for FC Barcelona, a club filled with legends. And now, ready to welcome Brazil's brightest star. For Neymar, this wasn't just a transfer, it was a dream. A dream to play alongside Lionel Messi, the player he had admired for years. But adapting wasn't easy. New country, new language, new expectations, and millions of eyes watching every single touch. Yet, Neymar never stopped smiling. He played with freedom, with imagination, and with joy. Then, everything changed. Luis Suarez arrived. 3 superstars, 1 attack. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. The world would soon know them as MSN. Football had rarely seen such chemistry. One created, one finished, one entertained. Together, they destroyed defenses across Europe. The 2014-15 season became unforgettable. Barcelona won La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League, a historic treble. Neymar scored in the Champions League final and finished the tournament as one of its top scorers. At just 23, he had conquered Europe. Many believed the Ballon d'Or was only a matter of time, but great partnerships don't last forever. Success changes everything. By 2017, Neymar had already won almost every major trophy at Barcelona. But one question never disappeared. Could he step out of Lionel Messi's shadow? Around the world, people admired Neymar, but many believed Barcelona was still Messi's team. Neymar wanted his own story, his own legacy. Then, football changed forever. Paris Saint-Germain activated Neymar's release clause, €222 million, the biggest transfer the football world had ever seen. Overnight, Neymar became the most expensive player in history. Expectations were enormous. Paris didn't just buy a superstar, they believed they had bought the future Ballon d'Or winner, and the man who would finally bring the Champions League to Paris. On the pitch, Neymar was brilliant. Goals, assists, magic, everything fans expected was there. But then, the injuries began, again and again and again. Every comeback was followed by another setback. Critics grew louder, headlines became harsher, questions replaced applause. Had the world's most expensive player failed? Or had football forgotten just how extraordinary Neymar really was? Through every transfer, every trophy, and every setback, one shirt always meant the most. Brazil, wearing the famous yellow jersey, was never just another match. It was a responsibility, a dream carried by millions. Neymar wasn't expected to simply win games. He was expected to bring back the magic of Brazilian football. In 2014, the World Cup came home to Brazil. The entire nation believed, and Neymar became the face of that dream. Match after match, he inspired his country until everything changed. A brutal challenge against Colombia ended his tournament. A fractured vertebra, just one injury away from the biggest match of his life. Without Neymar, Brazil walked onto the pitch against Germany. What followed became one of the darkest nights in football history. 7-1. The scoreline shocked the world, but for Neymar, the pain was far greater than missing a match. It was watching his country's dream fall apart without him. Still, he never gave up. He returned. He fought. He kept believing. Year after year, Neymar continued to wear the Brazilian badge with pride. He lifted Olympic gold in Rio, won the Copa America as part of the squad in 2019, despite missing the tournament through injury. And in time, he became Brazil's all-time leading men's goalscorer, a record that once belonged to Pelé. It was another reminder of just how extraordinary his career had been. In 2023, Neymar began a new chapter with Al Hilal, but once again, injuries refused to let go. Every comeback felt like the beginning of one last fight, not just against opponents, but against time itself. But perhaps Neymar's story was never meant to be measured by trophies alone. Football isn't always fair. Sometimes the most gifted players don't have the perfect careers. Sometimes injuries change everything. Sometimes expectations become heavier than talent itself. Neymar lived through all of it. The pressure, the criticism, the comparisons, the injuries. And yet, he never stopped playing with joy. He never stopped smiling. He never stopped trying the impossible. Millions of children didn't fall in love with football because Neymar scored goals. They fell in love because of the way he played, the confidence, the creativity, the freedom. He reminded the world that football could still be beautiful. Today, the debates continue. What if he had stayed healthy? What if he had never left Barcelona? What if fate had been just a little kinder? We'll never know, but one thing is certain. Neymar didn't just entertain a generation, he inspired one. His story isn't perfect, and maybe that's exactly why it feels so human. Long after the trophies and the headlines fade away, football fans will remember the magic, the fearless dribbles, the unforgettable moments, and the smile that made millions believe anything was possible. This wasn't just the story of Neymar. It was the story of a dream that inspired the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Beyond the Game Stories and join us for the next chapter in football history.